I'm in a new location. As you can see, there's lots of holly bushes and that for a good cover over the winter period. I have never camped here before, so hopefully all goes well. There's 35-mile-an-hour gusts this evening, and tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. So fingers crossed we don't get too wet, and we shouldn't do. This is my ideal bug out bag for here in the United Kingdom. There are a few bits I know I've missed, such as a decent compass, which I simply haven't got yet. They're hard to find a decent one nowadays on Amazon and eBay. They're just cheap little plastic ones that I'm not too fond of them. So tonight we're going to be testing out this bug out bag that I've developed. Everything in here costs under £1,000 together. I have a full sleeping system, methods of cooking and starting fires, and also some home comforts that you might just like to feel comfortable sometimes while you're bugging out, getting away from the apocalypse. So anyway, let's get on and get everything out of the bag and show you what it looks like. This is everything I have in the bag. There's quite a collection of gear here. You have the sleeping gear, the tools, the electronic gadgets, probably your mobile phone you want to charge up at some point, so I've got a good improvisation for that. Cooking equipment over here, pretty much everything you need. Let's start off and take a closer look at the bag, then the sleeping gear, the cooking gear, the tools and electronic gadgets. So first of all, we need a bag to put everything in, don't we? So this is a Snug Pack Sleeker Force 35 litre. The main compartment itself is quite simply one big main compartment with about 30 litres of space. That's very nice and handy. On the front here you can see I've had made up a custom pot for all of my pots and cooking equipment, stuff like that. That's really nice. I always use that. I've just put it on and looped it through the molly web in here via the elasticated stretch cord. At the top of the bag you have a nice little zip pull for a roughly 2.5–3 litre pocket at the top. Very nice for putting all your, well in this case I store my electronics inside a dry bag, so my waterproof rucksack rain cover goes in there, along with another little dry bag that I can put my sleeping bag or anything I don't want to get wet, like my electronics, in here. Fold it up nice, put it in here, and you know then it's not going to get wet, even if your bag gets soaking all the way through. Your stuff that you need to keep dry, like your sleeping bag as I say, and other bits of equipment like electronics, won't get wet. On the side of this you have a couple of bigger pockets which have elasticated covers. This is a waterproof bag, but if you do wash it, just retreat it with Nick Wax or something like that, and it shouldn't have too much of an issue. These pockets can easily fit a 1.3 litre water bottle in them. Absolutely ideal. In my case I have a water purification system on one side and a water bottle in my bushcraft knives in the other. Absolutely awesome. It's not the most comfortable to pack when it's fully laden as such. All of this gear weighs roughly, I don't know, about 6–7 kilos maybe, something like that. The bag itself has a relatively stiff back. I'm not quite sure what's in there. It's quite soft and pliable, so it does mould to your back. On the base it has a nice little pad here, just so the base of your spine don't get all the weight on it, and it features some nice little waist straps and chest, sternum straps, whatever you want to call them. Sometimes these feature whistles on them for emergencies. This one doesn't, but it's a relatively cheap pack anyway. Not forgetting at the bottom, this is where I'm supposed to store your waterproof cover for the rucksack. In there I just chuck food, whatever in there really, anything that's not going to get squashed when you slam it down on the ground. Anyway, let's move on to the camping gear. As far as camping gear goes, a decent full-length sleeping mat, especially this time of year in winter, early spring. You definitely need a well insulated sleeping pad. That's never go amiss. Along with, this one's a Softy Kestrel 6 or a Softy 6 sleeping bag made by Snug Pack. Absolutely lovely bit of kit. I really like them. They're good down to about 0 degrees. It says -5 to, I wouldn't trust the limits on any sleeping bag, to be fair. I always like to add about 5 degrees Celsius to any sleeping bag, and that's roughly the realistic sort of temperature that you can go down to. Here we have a DD Hammocks 3x3 metre tarp. This one's a nice, like a multi-cam pattern. You see that would blend in with this situation today really nicely. Look how well that blends in. I'm not going to leave that anywhere I can't see it. That's a 3x3 metre tarp, plenty of tie up and hook up points, but you'll see more of that later. I always take at least one ground sheet with me. This one is actually the underneath part for a tent, but it has nice little loops so you can peg it out to the ground and don't flap about like this cheaper model, which kind of rips, to be honest. And just for emergencies, cold weather wise, I have a Special Forces bivvy bag. This features a mid-length zip which runs down the centre of the bivvy bag. Very nice and waterproof, this, made by Snugpack again. I'm not sponsored by them anymore. I've just got loads of kit from when I was sponsored, and I heavily rely on this 100%. This is the actual colour of this one. I've also got another green one at home. I've got 6 tent pegs, just cheap aluminium stakes. Yeah, just like that. Common as hell. You can pick them up off eBay and Amazon for 10 for about $3.99. That is all of my camping gear set up. Let's move on now to the cooking gear. If you see anything I could add to this setup, whatever it may be, please comment in the box below, or if I'm taking too much gear, which I probably am, to be fair, especially the cooking side, you just have an open fire, get a stick and, you know, put the rabbit or squirrel on that or whatever you're catching, you know. Anyway, let's move on now to the cooking gear. Cooking gear, cooking gear. Well, that's better, Luke. In this bug out bag, I've got quite a plethora of cooking gear. As I mentioned a moment ago, you might not like to take any of this. You might like to cook over an open fire. Here I have a MSR Titan kettle. It's got a little spout here. Absolutely really nice and handy. I love this thing. There's not actually any measurements around this, but I think it's about, well, yeah, it must be a litre. Here I have another cook pot. Actually, I've got 2 in here. Nice little case. I'll just put that down for a moment. I've got 2 lids here. Oh, that's where my coffee went. Loads of coffee I buy from Poundland. Brilliant coffee, really cheap. I've got 2 tins that fit perfectly in one another. That one's a bit dirty. Let's get all the dead earwigs and stuff out of there before we brew up a coffee in a minute or two. This is a Keith Titanium 550ml cup. This is really nice with the lid. Again, titanium. Holds the heat very well, and after it's empty, when it's empty, sorry, it cleans up very nicely if you're not me and lazy. So lightweight and so compact in your bag. You can take it pretty much everywhere, and as you've just seen, it fits perfectly into this. And this is my actual mini cook pot. And when I don't want to take the MSR Titan kettle, I just take this and this over an open fire. Absolutely brilliant. But this one is again 600 mils, so roughly the same as this. Yeah, 550 mils, 16 ounces if you're working ounces. I don't. You can see this is quite stained up now. I really like it though. It's got a nice little hook on top, so you can hook it over the fire by a stick or a twig or something. Plus your little carry handles, which are really nice, you know, if you just put it on your stove in the evening for a brew. Anyway, let's just pop that back in there a second, close that up. Obviously the lids they do rattle about a bit, so this little case that comes with the Wild Camping International pot is very handy, just for keeping everything not so rattly about. Plus of course it fits in here very nicely, and this is how I put it in my custom made bag you saw a moment ago on the front of my rucksack. One thing I got the other day was a new fry pan from Wild Camping International again. Good little cases they come with. It's really soft to the touch. It's not going to hook or catch on any of your clothing. Oh, I forgot I had this in here. This is a Keith Titanium little plate that just sits on there. Whatever, it's really nice. You can see last time I used this I cooked sausages in it and I didn't have any oil, so it's gone a bit funny. Anyway, you see the heat there has got to it a bit, which is quite cool really. I like that oil effect. It looks absolutely epic on camera, doesn't it? But yeah, nice little fry pan for your omelettes, curries, whatever you want. Again, a nice little bag. Just stop everything rattling about too much. Yeah, no rattles at all in that. Utensil wise, I just have a couple of, well, typically 2, because I always manage to lose them. This again is from Wild Camping International. Nice little titanium spork. I really like them. It's got, not sharp, but it's got pointed fork bits on the end of the spoon. and loads of little hooks and things. You can carabiner clip it to the outside of your bag if it's dirty, or when you're washing up, you can hang up to dry. I've actually got 2 of these I've managed to get hold of. I'm giving away in this video, so comment below with your suggestions and I'll pick a random commenter to win one of them. This thing over here is a Liberty Lifesaver water purification system. The only thing this won't purify is salt water, but that's just as expected. This actually comes with a hose that I've lost, which you can attach here, undo here, and it's a pump system, so you unscrew it, pump it. I won't, because there is a little bit in there, so I don't want it all over my ground sheet before I've even started camping to get wet yet. And I've had no issue at all with this thing leaking in my pack. For actual food, I've got just some little dehydrated meals from Aldi or Lidl here in the United Kingdom. I've got a sweet and sour flavour, like a Chinese one, and also what's this one? This is a tomato and herb flavour. Just, you know, general pasta stuff. Boil water up, chuck this in with 500 ml of water. Absolutely awesome. I normally cook them in my World Camping International pot there. And that should be about it for my cooking gear. Finally, we've come to the most practical and survival focused gear on this list, apart from your sleeping bag, of course. That is never go amiss. Of course, you've got a little first aid kit. This is made by Summit. There's all sorts in here. I've had this case about 10 years, so probably not much original stuff in that. Actually, yeah, I've got some old saline solution, bandages, you know, plasters, all the usual tat that you never actually need, antiseptic towels, and also some iodine patches, which are really handy for if you cut yourself too bad and you're getting a bit of infection while you're a few days away or a couple of weeks bugging out somewhere. Them iodine patches really help just clear up any infection. That's never go amiss, must have job. For tools, I've got a nice little saw here. This one is a Baco Laplander saw. You may have seen one of these used by people such as TA Outdoors and other celebrities on the internet, and in TV personality wise. These are really good. I've had silky saws and they've just snapped, but this just gets hot and hotter, and you can see how hot it's got by the discoloration there. Yeah, it's done really well. I've had it nearly 8 years now, I reckon, 7 or 8 years, which was in a matching set to this Baco Laplander knife. Still nice and sharp, still nice and shiny. Baco Laplander, made in Sweden. I've never had any issue with sharpening this. It sharpens up really nicely, and it's still relatively sharp after about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years of not being used. I've used other knives that I've got for birthday presents and stuff like that off my parents. I am aware that in the United Kingdom it's illegal to carry one of these on the street, but when you're camping and that, or fishing or anything outdoors, a fixed blade is what you want. Folding blades with lockable or non-lockable knives are not that good in my opinion. One with an all-through blade and a nice grippy rubber handle like this one, again, never go amiss. I trust this 100%. Next up is a little neck knife. I've put a nice little lanyard on this one from my, actually I robbed it off my flint and steel, but I'll get to that in a minute. This is a little Mora knife. I'm not too sure on the model of this, but you can always pick them up. It's actually quite dirty thinking about it. I couldn't have cleaned it when I cut my bacon the other week. This just goes around my neck, always nice and handy, and there's a nice little pull cord there just to snap on and off if and when it gets caught on a stick, or if you fall out of a tree while you're being a pain in the backside climbing a tree while you're bugging out somewhere. It won't strangle you, that'll snap off nice and easy. Here you can see a nice flint and steel. This is actually made by a company called Uberleben. You can see it's rusty, and it's actually got quite a bit of pitting on this. That's actually because I've left it outside. I lost it quite a while ago, but yeah, it works incredibly well. Yeah, absolutely incredible, that thing. It's a nice 6 inch, I think, 5.5, 6 inches long. I wouldn't recommend the actual striker it comes with. It's got a tape measure on, a little nut and bolt thing. I don't know why it's got a nut and bolt thing on, but it has one anyway, just in case you find a abandoned tractor with the petrol cap stuck on you and undo whatever to get to the fuel, whatever it is. Anyway, let's move on now to the electronics. First off, I've got an O-light. They don't make these anymore, unfortunately. This is an O-light H1R Nova headlamp. Absolutely brilliant. If you double press it, it goes extra bright. Really nice, like really nice head torch, and that charges up by a magnetic USB charger. The magnet end attaches onto here so it won't accidentally pull out or anything. That's really nice. Along with that, I have a O-light Seeker 2 Pro torch. This is an absolute beast at night time. If you're worried about people coming into your camp, disturbing you, robbing you, maybe attacking you if you're a female or something, just press it 3 times and then it puts on the strobe. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit for protection, I find. Here are just USB cables again, just to charge everything up. And this thing is a yellow min. There's plenty of these available on eBay and Amazon. Nice little battery bank slash USB chargeable solar panel. That's absolutely brilliant. I like that. I see this more as a trickle charge. Let's just try and power this thing on. It's out of battery. Oh no, it has full battery. How do I turn the light on the back? Oh, there you go. There's nice little, well, it's quite bright actually, but on camera it's not showing up that well. Try and turn it off now. Yep, there you go. I've put a little bit of stretch cord, bungee cord, elasticated twine, whatever you want to call it, on there, along with a little bit of 4mm paracord and a little clip at the top, just so I can clip it onto the outside of my bag, and if it does slip out of the webbing, it's not going anywhere, and as it's got elasticated cord, it's not ripping anything. If it does get caught on something, it's not going to damage it as it's elasticated. Very nice and handy. If you're bugging out, you may not want to make much noise, I would highly recommend a decent mountain bike like this. This one's made by a company called Van Nicholas. Titanium frame, it's absolutely beautiful. SRAM XX1 Eagle group set. Many of you wild campers won't know what that means, but that means that's the best you can get. Absolutely awesome frame. It's a Van Nicholas Revelstoke. The model is a Revelstoke made by Van Nicholas. I've ridden this for the last 2 years. Absolutely flawless. If you'd like to see a bike packing trip where I'm on a multi-day adventure on this beast, I cycled Pedder's Way early last year in between lockdowns here in the United Kingdom. Absolutely fantastic riding. Yes, I did crash, as I do on many of my tours. So yeah, absolute beast of a bike. 2.8-inch wide tyres. It's not a fat bike as such, it's kind of in between. What was that? Oh, I hope that weren't the dreaded. Anyway, 2.8-inch tyres, absolute beast. Yes, they do pick up a few more punches, but you know, that's just what you get. Anyway, this can go on and off road as fast or as slow as you like. The gearing is absolutely brilliant. There's a 32 sprocket on the front, which is absolutely tiny. If you're into bikes at all, you'll know that that is what you want off road. It's got a massive 44 or 46 sprocket at the back, which will help you up all those hills that I don't have here in Suffolk. Right, so that is pretty much a good in-depth look at everything I have with me. Leave it in the comments below, peeps, if I've forgotten anything, if I don't need anything. I know some of the cooking equipment I don't really need, but what would you like to see in the ultimate United Kingdom bug out bag? Leave it below in the comment. I'm going to put the time lapse on now, get everything set up, and I'll bring you back and chat some more rubbish when everything's set up. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look for some straight sticks, long straight sticks, just to prop up the front of the tarp like a nice semi-level, semi-flat canopy, giving it a little bit of a pitch, a little bit of a depression one side, this side, just so the water in the morning can run off. So I'll look for some sticks. So here's the first stick. I'm just going to chuck that in the ground, stab it in a little bit. Oh, that's perfect, that is. And then what I'll do is I'll just take it out. Only one more stick to go. Now this one is a bit rotten out, but it's not under any pressure at all really. It's just more of a downwards pressure on it. after I guy line it out, the guy line's quite long, about 7 or 8 foot long, so you know the pressure's distributed quite a lot. Oh, it just snapped. Bugger, I've spent ages looking for that. Anyway, there's another one over there. It's probably the least straight stick I could find, but it'll do the job. Put that in there, that on there, and then peg it out. Actually, that does create a nice little run off for the water, a nice little pitch, doesn't it? So what I'll do is I'll tie that off. As always, I've forgotten something and I seem to have lost a peg. A stick will do. I'm not quite sure whether anyone caught that or not, but my sleeping bag, I brought the wrong one. Unfortunately, that's a left-hand zip instead of a right-hand zip. My head's this end, downhill's that way, just a tiny fraction, just a couple of levels, whatever, degrees. I can't think, I'm just trying to get out of the rain at the moment, but that's sorted now. My canopy's all nice and safe. I'm going to lower that end down a bit actually. And there you go, that's much better. I just had to change the camera batteries. Battery number 1 died and this one has 92%, so cool. This camera doesn't do me justice in my nose, does it? Cool, mate. I'm 34 now, so I'm going to start getting wrinkles soon, and oh, I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant to get a pension. Not that I have one. Anyway, enough actual humour. Look at that, absolutely awesome. Yeah, it's just a general tarp setup, nothing special, but for a UK bug out bag kit, that'll do. Obviously I haven't included the bivvy bag, the waterproof liner for the outside of the sleeping bag just yet. It's not that cold really. Well, not until the wind picks up and sweeps through the gaps where there's no holly trees. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a coffee on the go, and then I'm going to cook some stuff with my, well, yeah, cooking equipment. Let's go. One thing I didn't include in this kit is just a gas stove. This is just out with me today purely because I don't want to start any fires here. It's not my land. I'm wild camping, so I want to leave no trace whatsoever. One thing you have to look out for here in the UK, I'll put them down a minute, is hunting. There's a lot of shooting going on in the September, October, November time. They're after, like, you know, partridges, pheasants, rabbits, that type of thing. In the spring there's not much shooting going on, so I should be fairly safe. It's now approaching spring. It's just turned January. I think today's date is February the 5th. It's actually 4:15 in the evening and it's still not quite dark, which is brilliant. We can get out more, film some more, inspire and educate some more, and hopefully, well, I haven't crashed my bike, so hopefully I won't get wet or cold. I do actually need to send my tarp that way a little bit because my feet is sticking out, but it's not going to rain till the morning. Anyway, let's get on with some cooking. It's pretty handy having a butane canister with you to cook on and such, but it takes a lot of space in your bag, and they cost about 6 to 8 quid each now in the shops, go outdoors, wherever it is, so they're not really worth it in my opinion. I prefer an open fire. One thing I actually forgot to show you earlier, this is by a company called, again, Wild Camping International. Nice little hex stove. You can, you know, little twig wood burning stove you can piece together. Really nice. Again, you can see the oil effect from the titanium heating up. Oh, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm not going to use this today. As I say, it's on someone else's land. I'm not too keen on having fires on someone else's land. Keep everyone happy and no issues can come from it. So I'm going to get on with cooking, boiling the water. I'm going to have the sweet and sour flavour noodles. Lovely job. Along with some New York coffee, NY coffee from Poundland this is. You get 12 sachets for £1. Is it 12 or 15? I don't know, it's £1 for lots of different coffees, and This is probably the best all-in-one coffee I've found so far. Anyway, I'm going to get on with this and then bring you back when I'm scoffing my face. My friend Sean just messaged me, and yes, I know I should turn it off. I'm outdoors, but you know, I've got liabilities and stuff. Liabilities? I am probably the liability, let's face it. I've got responsibilities, so I need to keep my phone on. Although it is on silent, there's no vibration, no noise. I'll just leave that there. The actual phone case itself is made by a company called HIPPYSWIFT. Really nice. It has Velcro sealant. It doesn't really work too good nowadays, Velcro, but it does have a really lovely inner seal to waterproof it up. And along with that, in the back there's like a secret compartment where you can put all your £10 notes in. You know, I just got paid the other day, so if you think I'm rich from YouTube, you can think again. I get about $38 a month, and then American tax, YouTube wants a bit of that, and then of course when it gets to me, the United Kingdom wants 20% tax as well, or 15, or I don't know, whatever money transfer through continents is nowadays. Anyway, how's this thing getting on? Oh, it's not quite boiled yet, but I do see little bubbles in the bottom. Let's get everything ready. Just well, yeah, just to get everything ready really. There's a lid, let's put that over there. The great thing about these sachets, well, there's 2 points really. There's a good and bad point with sachets. Firstly, they're really easy and practical, but the downside is you now have to dispose of this in a normal bin. These can't be recycled. Well, they say they can be recycled, but there's aluminium and stuff in them, so I won't recycle that. That'll go in my pocket. They'll go in my normal house bin when I get home, and unfortunately they'll end up underground in the landfill somewhere, which we really need to start sorting out in the next 10-15 years before, you know, there's avalanches of trash. Anyway, I'm going to get this sorted out, stop renting rubbish. Oh, it smells really nice even before it's, I keep saying cooked, but before it's rehydrated is what I really mean. And there you go, I'll pop the lids back on them just for now. There's already a bug in my coffee. We don't like bugs in coffee. It'd be called a bug coffee, becoffee, is that a word, becoffee? I don't know, it sounds posh, must be the right word. Anyway, you can see my descent into madness nowadays, can't you, like the way I'm talking. Again, these little things have aluminium on the inside, goes in the normal trash again, goes in my pocket first, trash at home, landfill. Mother Nature loses out. Even though I'm all about helping Mother Nature, you just can't get around some things. Anyway, we're nearly there. I'll bring you back when I've got everything prepared. Right, let's check the old boil. Should be about there. It was nearly there a minute ago. Cool, yep, that's definitely boiling. Let's get that in the old pots and pans over here. Is it hot? Nope. I love titanium. Absolutely brilliant material. It cools down really quickly. Let's start off with my coffee because that's the most important thing over food any day. And then we have, oh, it's probably not enough water in there, but that is what I've allotted myself. Anyway, let's move that well out of the way to cool down along with this. Give these things a stir through. Oh, that's going to be nice when it actually soaks up all that water. So we'll pop the lid on, put this little, there's a little sliding bit here so it doesn't fall down. You need to have it, you know, in the slot or not. Again, pop the lid on that, let it brew 5 minutes. Right, let's see how this is doing. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes now. Yes, that's what it's about, minus the bugs. Let's see. Yep, it's actually still pretty hot, so I'm going to let that just cool down a couple of minutes. Remember not to put hot things on your ground sheet or you'll do a HIPPYSWIFT and burn holes in your gear. Anyway, it's getting quite dark. I've had to adjust the camera settings somewhat. Well, somewhat meaning quite a lot. Oh, it's brilliant to be out. Really nice to be out, chilling in the wilderness. or what wilderness we have near Felixstowe anyway, because there's not much of it. The A14 runs straight across here behind the camera, about 300 or 400 yards. So if you can hear lorries and containers cluttering about and the odd motorbike and car with big exhausts flying about, being loud and noisy, please forgive that noise, because I certainly don't forgive it. It's just no need for that at all. Anyway, I haven't got anything planned for this year yet. However, if you would like to come on a short bike tour with me, I'm currently looking for 3 individuals to test out one of my routes, the Castles and Coastline route. Every summer I do it quite a few times. It's pretty much just my local route, a few hills involved, nothing major, it's Suffolk after all. Anyway, I'm looking for 3 individuals like yourself. Comment below if you'd like to join me on one of these trips. It will be free for these 3 individuals. This is the base of what I hope to start communal tours. I'd love to host tours, not only local in Suffolk, but all around the United Kingdom. However, the insurance on this is absolutely incredible. I really can't afford that, and keep the price low as possible is quite difficult. So if you come on the tour with me, you are effectively following me. You're by yourself. I'm not hosting the tour officially, just to cover my own back, in other words. If you have an accident while on the road, I'm not liable for that whatsoever. The roads nowadays are quite dangerous, so I like to take this beast off-road. It's more than up for it, as you can see. Anyway, I'm going to tuck into this because this is about ready now. Let's give this a go. Massive shout out, by the way, to 2 different people. First of all, Simon Bloke in the Woods, legend. Everyone knows Simon anyway, so no introductions there. One person you may not know, he's done incredibly well on YouTube. He's only been on YouTube for 13 months, 12 or 13 months, and he's accumulated 15,000 subscribers. Of course, the one and only East Anglian Bushcraft. Massive shout out to you, Craig. I'll link your channel in the description box below, and also a card up here, or is it up there? I don't know, it's in the top corner somewhere. A card is to one of his videos that sticks out to me. He's a military veteran. He's a young chap. I don't know if he's even as old as I am. I'm 34, I'm not quite sure his age, but he's got lots of experience in wild camping, bushcraft, outdoors. He has a push bike as well. He mentioned that when he gets his push bike, he'd love to come on a little bike packing multi-day trip sometime. Absolutely awesome. I can't wait, Craig. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Anyway, my grub's getting cold. Pucker. My voice is broke. Oh my god, I've hit puberty. Anyway, this is Pucker. I'm gonna tuck in, not choke, not spit it everywhere, on camera at least, and yeah, see what the night brings. It's getting a bit too dark now to film on this mirrorless camera, so you know, the ISO, the brightness settings and that, it just messes with the picture quality a bit too much in night time, even under torchlight. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll catch you guys in the morning, unless anything dramatic happens. Fingers crossed it don't, because you know me, I'm always falling off my bike and trees are falling next to me, so let's hope that don't happen today. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning. Peace. Good morning, Vietnam. I mean England. Hello. That was an awful night's sleep. There's loads of animals everywhere. It's terrible. Blooming stinking animals everywhere. Keep me awake. This is my habitat now. Go away, rabbits, foxes, deer, badgers, squirrels. We don't want you here unless we're hungry. Yeah. Only joking, of course. But there was loads of animals last night. Keep me awake. Yeah, it's starting to rain. Not quite sure what to do about that. If I was any good at special effects and editing, I'd clap my hand, it'd be sunny. No, that didn't work. Anyway, I'm gonna get the kettle on the go again and make myself a coffee. Oh, wet gear. More wet gear. Anyhow, today what I've got planned is nothing at all. I'm going to go home, edit this video, play a little bit of Minecraft. I'm on the Xbox 360 if anyone wants to play with me. I've not been having the best of times in life recently, so I find that playing computer games like Minecraft and, well, yeah, that helps. Just take the edge off, take my mind off things, and you know, you can play online with people as well, so it's great. I'm not quite sure whether this was a dream I had last night or whether it actually happened, but there was about 50 deer behind me over there, and I turned around and shot my torch at them, real bright. Actually, yeah, it was a dream because my bike weren't in it. My bike weren't there, and I thought, where's my Van Nicholas? Don't want to lose that. There was deer surrounding me in this dream. Yeah, I got up, shot my torch at them, and they scarpered off, but one stayed there, a big stag with horns stayed there, and then I just cowered it back into my sleeping bag and hid away. That was such a wimp thing to do, but you know, what are you going to do if you're faced with a big stag with horns? Shout at it? I'd run away, I'm sure. But yeah, luckily that was a dream, I reckon. It's now starting to rain quite heavily. The wind last night did scare me a little piece. I did think about just packing up and going, but yeah, the wind didn't get that strong, so I stayed around a bit longer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish making a brew, have a nice coffee. Oh, my hands are freezing. It's cold, it's supposed to be 9 degrees, it's more like 1. It was absolutely freezing. I mean, last night when I got in my sleeping bag, I was quite literally sweating. It was just, I was wearing too many layers last night, just way too many layers. And I woke up loads, like dozens of times in the night. Cold breeze down my neck, couple of times, bugs crawling over me. Oh, that was horrible feeling. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the brew, then I'm going to pack up all this gear under the tarp, and then I'm going to go home, edit this video and put it out hopefully today, which is Sunday. Sunday the 4th I think it is. What's the time actually? It's daylight, so it must be about 7 at least. Oh, it's 8:15. 8:15 in the morning. That's alright, isn't it? When I get home later, I'm going to edit this video straight away, make some really stupid title for it, have a nice picture thumbnail for it. Everything in this kit worked fantastically, by the way. I've had most of this kit quite a while, apart from the tarp. This sleeping bag I haven't tried often, I've used it once before, and that was in summer, so it's good to test it in demanding circumstances, which you want to do really before you go on any excursions as such. You want to test it at home in not ideal conditions, just see if you can put up with the strain. Recently I've found myself being quite depressed, to be honest. I've got a lot of family issues going on at the moment, and you know, it's just put me down. Thoughts in my head constantly going round and round. One thing that helps, obviously getting out in nature, riding bikes, but when I haven't got time to ride bikes and go camping, I actually play Minecraft. Yes, Minecraft. If anyone wants to play Minecraft with me, my name's HIPPYSWIFT, one word, all capital letters. I'm playing on the Xbox currently, so you either need another Xbox 360 or an Xbox One. My kettle is now boiling, so let's go on making a brew. It's been about 10-12 minutes now. It's quite a slow boil, it's running out, so oh, that'll do me. Let's just move that a second. Yeah, the gas canister's definitely running out of juice. Definitely running out of juice. Anyway, we now look forward to a nice little brew. Oh, can't wait to get that in me. A little bit of water left. I might have another little pasta thing. I might not. Put that there, just so I don't burn anything. Lovely job. Right everyone, it's wet and miserable, so I'm just going to finish packing up the rest of my gear now and head on home. If anyone likes any of the gear I've used today, links are going to be in the description box below. Being unable to get out on the bike through elbow, like tennis elbow, I metal detect in my spare time as well as cycle, so my elbow is quite worn out from metal detecting on archaeology sites. Thus I've been stuck at home for a couple of months now, not really doing that much, the odd camp now and again. However, what I have found that's helped is actually playing Minecraft, believe it or not. Yes, I know it's a kid's game. It gives you a great creative perspective and gets that creative juice flowing. So if anyone's on Xbox or Xbox 360, hit me up. My name's HIPPYSWIFT, all capital letters. Just give me an ad and join my world when I'm there. Just don't blow up with TNT, please, because I've spent a year developing the thing. Anyway, on that note of Minecraft, I don't know, it does help, it really does help. Anyway, I'm going to pack up my gear. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see everyone very, very soon for another more longer, drawn out, multi-day adventure on the bikes when it's not raining. If you'd like to see more adventures of mine, click this side of the page, either one of them will do, or click the card in one of the top corners up there, and in the description box below you can find all of my kit and equipment through Amazon links and wherever I can find it cheapest. And don't forget to comment below with your suggestions of anything I've missed, or if I'm taking too much gear. It's a great camping setup for sure. Obviously I'm missing a compass and that type of thing, but let me know in the comments below. Till next time, stay safe and I hope you find peace.